Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to talk about storage. And not just where to put things, but how the storage actually affects the place we are living in. Because most of the homes, they don't suffer from not enough storage, they actually suffer from the opposite problem. Too many things are visible or not enough storage at all. And as a result, place feels crowded, overwhelming, and constantly unfinished. So today we are going to talk about some of the tips how to make our home look functional and also calm. And the first idea is simple. Storage is not the goal. Clarity is. When people feel overwhelmed by their space, they instinctively add a little bit more storage and a little bit more, and it goes on and on. They would add more shelves, more boxes, more organizers. But the storage often means more things. And more things means more visual noise. A well-designed home is not the one that can store everything, it's the one that doesn't need to. To simplify storage, I'd like to divide this into 3 different layers. And layer number 1, daily use. Things you use every day. Well, and this should include things that are easy to reach, visible or semi-visible, and placed in your main zones. The second layer would be occasional use. These things you use sometimes, so you would place them slightly higher and place deeper in the cabinets, and they would be slightly less accessible, yet possible to reach. And the third layer, of course, the rare use. The things that you use few times a year. The things that shouldn't be in your main living space. They belong in the storage rooms, under beds, or even outside the apartment. One of the biggest mistakes is actually mixing all of this together. I mean mixing 3 layers all together, creating this noise, and you don't have the hierarchy and priority. At this point, your daily life is hidden when the rare items that you use are quite visible and they obstruct your daily routine. Moving on to the visible versus hidden storage. Well, of course, not all storage is equal. There is visible storage and hidden storage. Open shelves, for example, can look beautifully, but only when they are controlled. And too many items on open shelves create stress. The eye doesn't rest. So the rule is simple. Use open storage for a few curated objects, books, and the items that are with a consistent use. Everything else should be hidden. Drawers and closed cabinets create calm at this point. Let's move on to the next part, the empty space principle. And one of the most underrated elements of the storage is actually empty space. People often try, and I also had the same idea in mind, that whenever I have something open like a shelf or the space on the table, I have to fill it in with something. This was a mistake. It's wasting the space. The room loses the ability to breathe. So at this point, you have to follow this balance. A shelf that is, for instance, 70% full already feels calm, but if it's full for 100%, it feels overwhelming. So the same rule applies to all the surfaces, basically. A clear surface, it doesn't mean that it's unfinished. It's intentional. So you can play it out that it's done for the purpose. Moving on to the next point, which is the storage should follow movement. Well, and storage should work best with your daily routine, daily movement. And the question you can ask yourself, where do I naturally put things? This is the simple thing. When you come home, where do you put your keys? Do you toss them on a drawer next to the door? Do you toss them on the table when you enter the house? Or do you keep them in a pocket until the end? Or maybe sometimes you keep them in a key lock. At this point, if we're talking about the keys once again, if you keep dropping them near the entrance, create a space for them. Create a special designated place for them. If you read in bed, well, store books next to the bed. Well, of course, don't overwhelm your bedroom with a library, just some essentials. Bad storage often influences and changes your behavior. Good storage supports what you already do and creates more discipline. Furniture with a purpose, another topic that we have to discuss. And in smaller homes especially, furniture plays an essential, it plays crucial role, but carefully. A bed with storage is useful, but only if you use it regularly. A coffee table with storage is helpful, but only if it doesn't become a hidden mess. A goal is simple, is not to maximize the storage, but to create a usable storage. At this point, we get into a main thought. Stop organizing and start editing. Here's the most important idea. Organizing is not the same as editing. You can organize clutter perfectly and you would still feel overwhelmed. Before adding storage, remove often what you don't need. At this point, we are talking about one of the main principles of decluttering. You can throw one thing a day, you can throw 5 things a day, you can just start binge throwing things. Start with the decluttering. Design improves faster by subtraction and not by addition. At this point, I'd like to share the final thought. A calm home is not the one with the perfect storage system. It's the one where everything else in place and nothing needs to be organized anymore. Storage should support your life, not manage your excess. If you look around your home today, ask yourself a simple question. Is this storage help me to feel calm, or is just hiding my problems? Well, if this was helpful, follow up, leave the comment about your preferable methods of storage, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.